Alright, and welcome back to our playthrough of Dungeons of Chaos. Now, when we left off last time, we just got back from making the deal with the outlaws, opened up the passage to the Southern Valley, and now Lord Aldrich has gave us a little green something on our armor, so we can go speak with the Elves. So that's what we're going to do now. I'm going to go ahead and run across the icy valley once again, and make it all the way down to the mountains. Again, this is just going to be a nice long run. Let's go ahead and click on light. This should be a nice, easy go-to quest. A little bit of exploring. Almost be nice to be able to just teleport there. We don't have that yet. And again, this is going to be a, like I said, a nice long trek. Get some of the darkness out of here. And more of the pet rolling rogues there. Music is nice and calm and soothing. I was like some monk is up on the mountains and just blowing a little trumpet, echoing out everywhere. Alright. I'm going to give you guys benefit of the doubt on reading that. I went ahead and I clicked on that a little bit too quickly. We got like a little town there, but that's not where we need to go. We need to go into the great big forests. Go speak with the elves. They're going to be in the center. Now this is part of the great forest here. I'm going to go down to the very southern portion of it. There's the swamps. I think we can start heading north here. There we go. And we ran smack dab into it. I'll open the map so you guys know just about generally where to go. We don't have a lot of black on this because we didn't explore too much. Again, we're trying to just go relatively quick. And go all the way up here. Got a little tunnel there we ran past. Yeah, so once you come into the North Valley, I apologize, I was meant saying that was the South Valley. The North Valley, you gotta run out the path and you just gotta continue south along the mountains. And we kind of went a little bit off the mountains. And then as soon as you actually reach the swamp down here, you then want to immediately go just a jaunt to the west and then north. And you should run into it. Now the giant red splotches there, those are actually the giant trees that hold up the Elven city. I've heard many tales about the Elven city in the sky. As you climb halfway up the trees, you reach the platform and walking bridges which span like strings to a spider web, of a spider web far above the forest floor. You see a tiny little forest in here. That's a nice little touch of depth. That looks like you're way up there. Usually that'd be a random guard. More guards. Alright, I'm just going to run through the city real quick, kind of get the blackness out so we are able to see that a little bit better. What do we got here? A roguelike elf. Elf doesn't greet you. cannot talk to you. I have important matters to attend to. Granted, he's got a green dagger and he's dressed in black. He kind of looks like an assassin. Not much detail to go on there. Alright, Phelan. He can train us in healing hands. That's pretty good. That's a pretty decent training max there. We might take him up on that a little bit. Again, we've only been using healing hands outside of combat a little bit. Which, if you guys use it a little bit more inside combat, that is completely up to you. Like if you have a monk or a cleric that's on the front lines, you can reach over and touch one of your party members and top them off or give them a little hand. Now, if those were implemented on one of the cooldowns to automatically use it, that would be pretty good, kind of overpowerful. Slorvigi, however you want to pronounce his name. He specializes in fine jewelry, so he has a shop. So he's got rings and amulets. What's the most expensive piece that he has? Masterwork Ring of Fire. Or a Blazing Masterwork Ring with resistance to fire. That is pretty big. We could have probably used that, or a couple of those, when we were taking on the Fire Acolyte. We'll come back to him when we're gearing out a little bit. Let's continue exploring the Elven city here. Nah, nothing over there. This is actually one of the largest towns that we have come to thus far. Not very densely packed. Alright. Looks like we got another trainer. Medlinor. If I can pronounce her name. Looks like he's going to be our... no, he trains Monster Lore, Shoulder Bash, Staff, Two-Handed Blade, and One-Handed Blade. It's an interesting cobble of skills. Alright, looks like he's in prison. Or they froze him in ice. Or carbonite. Yeah. So he's just standing guard. Well, doesn't say anything. Doesn't say anything or can't say anything. He looks like a wizard. He's probably got in trouble doing something. Too much power, too much magic. Always gets people in trouble. Guess they'd never heard of Spider-Man before. Oh, we got a gate here. We can't go that way. That's going to be the inner city, which is closed off at the moment. Looks like we have the giant platform here. These two people here look important. Alright. Holson. He is a member of the Elven Council. He's devoted his life to as a warden of the trees. He's an ambassador to the Druids. Interesting. Let's speak about evil forces. It's a huge threat to our peace. Not only the creature themselves, but all sorts of opportunistic evils come crawling out of the shadows. Not even this forest is safe. Speak to our marksman bowmaster. So there's the be where we can go to get that. And here is Aldrich. He is the person that we need to speak to. Their folk refers him to the King of Elves. Alright. Evil forces. At the present time, it's not fought with swords. The winged creatures who actually are unable to fly are too powerful to confront with our bows and swords, but we have managed to keep them at bay with tactics and powerful magic. It says, Elven magic is powerful, but we found no means to defeat it. The Druid and an ally of theirs came forward, and we combined our powers. They conjured the river in the south to grow and breach its banks, and we've charged it magically, and their allies blessed it. So they cannot cross the river. So everything is contained within the valley due to a magical barrier. Alright, so now we have a new quest here that's a Druid ally. We protect and preserve. They are not very open to visitors in these times. I expect they would be willing to meet with you. You can see their huts in the eastern part of the swamp, which itself is southeast of the forest. I'm not sure who their ally is, but it is not a Druid. Alright, so we have an unknown ally that we got to go speak with. We got a couple more places to explore around the city, and then we'll go off and speak with the Druids. Let's find out what's back here. Alright, so we have new daily skills. Alright, so he teaches the basics of mana or magic rupture. That's kind of handy. We haven't learned it already, but we have. Alright, he speaks about the prisoner that's in the west being held up. He's treasonous and he's being held accountable for his deeds. Sounds like the Elves have had enemies. Now, night has fallen, and it is a little bit difficult to run around. There you go. Now daylight is coming back again. Who do we have here? Glamorin? Or Glamoron? He's another shop. Looks like he's got a bunch of elven gear. It's a whole lot of green. Probably check that out. Fair prices. This is the most expensive gear he has. Steel Warden Belt of Health. 16% health regeneration, or boost in health and health regeneration. Not bad. Something our fighter would like. All right, let's continue on here. So there was a marksman that we were supposed to talk to be trained with our bow skills. We have yet to find him yet. It's like we got training dummies. One of these guys, it's got to be him. There we go. Yep. This is our Marksman Guild. And he will actually train us in all things marksmanship. Range, perception, and determination. Which I don't have a town point. Yeah, we'll come back to that. Alright, I think we have explored the city almost completely, went through every platform. And we're going to go back down. Now, let's check our quest here. Alright, so we need to report back to Lord Aldrich and mention the tactics and magic the Elf King had told us about. But we also have Elrich, who wants us to find out who the Druid's ally is. So let's go in kind of a one swoop deal here. We're going to run over to the Druid Cove that Elrich wants us to talk about. And then we'll run back to Lord Aldrich and tell him of what is going on. And we're going to be wandering around the swamp here. I think we might have found it. Yep, there we go. Not many people dare come near this place, not because it's perceived as dangerous, because it seems to be sacred and off limits. But of course, the huge clay golem also gives the impression that you better have good reason to be here. But he's not standing by the door. Where is he? Oh, there he is. Alright, so we got 3 folks here. Loomhane, welcome to the Druid's Cove. Alright, so what's he do? He's a druid, and his other brothers are geomancers. They specialize in the application of elemental magic. Yeah, that's nice to know. And it's an important place where both natural and artificial elements constellations exist, and allows us druids to channel elemental powers. One of the powers grants balance. We can sense that the balance is disturbed, like what occurred with the Chaos Rift. It's a dangerous place to be in. Your mana does not recover. Of course, we found that out the hard way. And powerful chaotic beings emerged in the realm with chaos rough in presence. Alright. No one lives to tell what it looks like. I urge you not to venture through, even close it, or even close it, or even go close to it. If you find out that it was a role to play in all this, when we will have to find a way for somebody to safely approach and travel through it. As it is, we believe you would not survive. So somebody's got to venture through it, but nobody's let her survive. That's always nice. Alright. The other one that we need to speak about is him. He's an exorcist. He's our druid ally. An exorcist has been tirelessly mending the wounds left by the Great War hundreds of years ago. The old battlefield used to be where the outpost is now. That was the northern little town that we passed by. We didn't venture in. Northern part of the end of the valley. And you would have passed it, I just said. He blessed the river water, which now holds the evil creatures at bay. You should meet him in case his powers are of use to us and talk to the people there. Alright, so that is the case of getting that. So now we got to go back over to the castle. Now, Amicio, he's going to be our guild of geomancers. I think we're at a point, once we turn in this little quest to Lord Aldrich, to go ahead and start speccing into our higher classes. So let's go ahead and I'm going to jump cut here. I'm going to grab that level. I'm going to jump cut here, get back to the castle, and then turn in this quest. And then in the next part, we're going to do the guild quest sagas and go through that. Alright, now we're back in the castle. We ran all the way back through the mountain path and the icy valley. I'm going to speak with Lord Aldrich here. Speak to him about the tactics. Alright, he thinks long and hard about the advice, and I think its time is right that we have proven very strong, and we now need to seek to master our skills as wizards or priests or knights or elves, for when we're ready we can launch our attack. Talk to the elves, and they'll take you to the trapped winged creatures, engage them and defeat them. We will stand ready to take back the castle, and surely your success and their demise will cause as much of the distraction as we can ever hope for. And he gives a firm handshake, and our time has come. Alright, so we're just about progressed to a heightened battle that Lord Aldrich wants to take care of the winged demons that have sieged the castle. The elves, along with the druids and the exorcist, have taken care of them and have them held off into a cave, and they have barricaded the valley with a magical barrier by blessing the river so they can't cross. So what we're going to do here is we're going to jump off of the main storyline, and we're going to go through all our side quests for Chapter 2, starting with the guild quests in the castle. So join us next time as we go through all the guild quests.